In 1967, psychologist Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania ran an experiment that accidentally discovered one of the most devastating psychological traps the human brain can fall into. And there is a very real chance it is happening to you right now without you even knowing it. Here is what happened. Seligman placed dogs in a chamber and exposed them to mild electric shocks. One group could press a lever to stop the shocks. The other group had no control whatsoever. Both groups received the exact same number of shocks. Then came the critical second phase. Both groups were placed in a new chamber where they could easily escape the shocks simply by jumping over a low barrier. The dogs who had control before? They jumped immediately. But the dogs who had no control in phase 1? They just lay down and whimpered. They did not even try to escape, even though escaping was now completely easy. Seligman called this learned helplessness, and it changed psychology forever. Your brain is not wired to keep trying forever when it keeps failing. After repeated uncontrollable negative events, your nervous system literally learns that your actions do not matter. It rewires itself to stop generating motivated behavior. The prefrontal cortex, your planning and decision-making center, essentially goes offline. Serotonin levels drop. This is not weakness. This is your brain doing exactly what it was programmed to do. A 2007 study published in Neuron Journal found that learned helplessness literally changes the neural circuitry in the medial prefrontal cortex. The brain physically restructures itself around the belief that you are powerless. And here is where it gets personal. Learned helplessness shows up in toxic relationships where one partner controls the other repeatedly. It shows up in abusive workplaces where your ideas are constantly dismissed. It shows up in systemic poverty traps where every attempt to improve life is blocked by structural barriers. A landmark 2001 study by psychologist Christopher Peterson found that people with learned helplessness have 3 specific thought patterns. They believe the bad situation is permanent, not temporary. They believe it is pervasive, meaning it infects every area of their life. And they believe it is personal, meaning it is their fault. Researchers at Stanford University found in 2019 that social media rejection, things like posts getting no likes or being ignored online, can trigger mild learned helplessness responses in teenagers. That is how accessible this trap is. Small repeated failures are enough to start rewiring the brain. But here is the critical thing Seligman discovered later in his career, which he called learned optimism. The brain is neuroplastic. The rewiring is reversible. The antidote starts with mastery experiences. Small, controllable wins that prove to your nervous system that your actions do matter. A 2015 study from Columbia University found that completing even tiny goals, 3 to 5 minutes of focused work, reactivated the reward circuitry that learned helplessness shuts down. Cognitive behavioral therapy has a 65 to 70% success rate in reversing learned helplessness patterns according to a 2018 meta-analysis. So here is what you do starting today. First, shrink the goal until success is guaranteed, no matter how small. Second, explicitly notice when your actions cause an outcome, any outcome. Third, challenge the permanence story your brain is telling you. Ask yourself, is this actually forever, or does it just feel that way? Your brain learned helplessness through repetition. It can unlearn it the exact same way.